retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with a cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then taste it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No place for their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
What's happening, 80-year-old nation? Welcome to Adrenaline, the podcast, presented by Fatheads Eyewear, my good friend Rico Elmore, and fueled by my good friend Ron Stilley over at Chucka Burger. We had a blowout over there for his birthday on Sunday. It was a good time. What's up, Prince Adam?
Same old, same old. Just good to be back in the studio.
Just the two of us, yeah.
I love it. Well, I got Chris back here, so it's not just the two of us, but close to.
Hey,
that's not my hand.
What's up, Chris? So yeah, we had to change producer Adam's nickname. He is Prince Adam from here forward. Let it be written, let it be said, let it be done, because I like I said before, I can't pigeonhole you into one thing. I mean, you're going to be running the entire 80-year-old media division and Adrenaline media division this time next year. So
yeah,
Prince Adam it is. And if you know Adam, he is a prince.
I'm princely.
Actually, aren't you related to like somebody in like the Greek Isles or something, like a third cousin's uncle that used to drive a cab for a company in Paris?
God, I wish. Dodi Al-Fayed.
Oh, hey.
Is that guy?
Hey.
I've heard cabs.
Yeah, well,
Greek.
could be. I actually went to the Claridge's Mall, which the Al-Fayed family owned when I was over in England. Jess and I went to the Claridge's Mall, and it's like literally a shrine.
Oh, I bet.
It's a shrine to Princess Di and his son. So
That makes sense. And they've got the money to be able to pull that off. So
yeah, they do. I hear a little buzz. And
yes, sir. That is correct. We're working on that.
no
That
worries.
is
Okay.
right here. Right here. Sensitive area. Do not move. Do not touch.
Do not move. Do not touch. We can get the technical department, which would be Prince Adam,
Yeah, which
on
would be
that
me, yeah.
after the show.
Yeah. That's why we can't just do producer pigeonhole.
No, can't. You're the prince. So, oh man, it's been a day, brother. I mean,
I'll tell you.
I am fully recovered from the adventure that was Petey Gate.
Mhm.
I believe at some point, just to let everybody know, we did get Petey, my daughter Brooklyn's rescue dog. We got him back home. He jumped ship a day and a half after he was rescued, decided he wanted to keep exploring a little bit. So, man, who knows what kind of journey he was on, but we got him back, and so thrilled that we did, because he's Herod's Mall.
Jess?
Herod's, yeah. What did I say? Did I say something different?
I don't know. Something with a C maybe or something like that.
Oh, no, the Claridge's was the hotel. The Claridge's was the
okay.
hotel, yes.
I was first just amazed that there was a mall still open. And that was the
Well, you're
first thing.
talking,
yeah.
brother, you're talking 12 years ago or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. No,
so,
I get it.
Right.
Yeah. These days, it's just a big place.
I
to
miss
store
hanging
orange
out at Mid
jewelries.
Rivers Mall on a Friday night. It's a good time back
I
in
miss
the
being
day.
15 as well. I get it.
I know, right? So the Claridge's Hotel is exactly where we stayed.
Ooh, a haunted hotel. We need to talk more about that.
We will talk more about that, because it was it's famous for the fact that it had the first lift, which commonly became known as the elevator.
Mhm.
That hotel in particular is where the first lift was put in.
Then Uber came along.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we got in that lift, and then from there we went up to our suite, and from the moment I walked in, I knew that there was someone else in there with us.
Had that feeling.
I had that feeling,
love that
and
feeling.
so I'm in the bath restroom, or the loo as they call it over there.
Well,
I guess
water closet, whatever.
water closet, whatever. And number one, and I glanced in the mirror to my left, and I promise you,
Mhm.
on all that is holy, somebody was looking back at me.
No, you don't have to promise me. I think we've talked about it.
We
that
have.
I ran my own paranormal investigative group for 6 years. So
So it's
yeah,
the real deal.
I'm big into that sort of stuff. I got married at a hotel, divorced now. If any ladies out there are watching,
I mean, it's official. Prince Adam is back on the market.
I've been on that market, up, down, left, and right, just sitting there waiting to be purchased. But no, I got married. I went down to Arkansas for my haunted hotel.
It was the picture in the bathroom. Jess is constantly, as she does pretty much every day, all day, helping me to refresh my memory. But yeah, there was a photo in the bathroom at the Claridge's in our suite, and it was alive. She was moving, she was talking, she was a part of everything that was going on there that night. So, last time I've been to England, hopefully not the last. I enjoyed my time in London. You ever been?
No, I've never been.
It is.
I would love to, because that's
fantastic.
anything with history, and you throw in a ghost story, I'm in, and that's just chock-a-block over there. You can't get away from it. So
That'll be a good off-season trip as we get ready for the 20th anniversary
Yeah.
ADRL tour.
give me a camera and some batteries. I'm in.
We got to get through this thing called Dragstock coming
Can't
up at
wait.
the Rock.
Coming up fast.
September 29th and 30th. Yeah, I'll be in market next week. It's already upon us. So
Damn.
September 29th and 30th, free tickets available tomorrow, 9 a.m. right on our official website, adrltour.com, adrltour.com. There you go. So before we jump into it, we had some, we kind of put out a questionnaire. Dr. Fears had a pre-planned vacation, when he and I first started talking about doing this deal back in, February, maybe even a little before that. People make plans, and every year he has his traditional family float trip. So they boogied on today. I'm sure they're watching on the road. So want to say hi to him, his beautiful wife, Lori, and the whole clam. We got Hazel, Stevie, Emmett.
Boom, boom.
Emmett, you behaving back there, buddy?
Doubtful. Wouldn't be Emmett.
That's right. Just like Maverick. He is named him. His name fits him. It suits him. Let's just say
that's his father's boy for sure.
Yes, indeedy. Byers, what's up, my buddy? Hey, listen, I sent you a message there on Messenger, Byers. you're going to want to check that because we're going to want to bring you on like, the next 15, 20 minutes or sooner.
Yeah, whenever's clever.
Whenever's clever, because, man, I want to know all about the motorhome, where the first adventure plan. I know where the September 29th, I know where it'll be parked September 29th and 30th. No doubt about that. So as we jump in, I got to tell you, Prince Adam, something that's on my mind before I get to, and I appreciate everybody that sent the questions in. They actually, instead of, some follow directions, some don't. They send a lot through Messenger, a few through text. So we'll get to as many as we can. But you take a peek there, buyers. It's definitely in there. And don't forget, even though we are on YouTube exclusively, and if you get a chance, click that subscribe button. And if you need to sign up for YouTube or whatever it is you got to do to subscribe, because you'll want to get notified when we go live.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and almost equally, and if not more important, share.
Yes, share. So drag racing right now, I feel like, is on an uptick. I know I'm a little biased. I've got a vested interest. We all do here at Adrenaline Event Promotions in the ADRL companies.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's one guy that I just got to give a shout out to, because with everything that's going on in drag racing, and one of the topics that have been prevalent this summer that's been on a lot of minds, it's been all over social media and everything, were a lot of premier drag strips closing, right? So we've got, it started with Seth Angel and the Angel family's beloved Houston Raceway Park down in Baytown, Texas, where we had some killer ADRL events still hold and will forever now hold the largest single day attendance record in the history of that place, because it's been bulldozed. It's no longer there. But we can say that humbly about every ADRL track we've ever attended. There's not a track that we've been to that we don't hold the attendance record for. And if anybody wants to challenge me on that, bring it, baby. Because we got stats, we got data, and we got
where
tickets.
to find us late September.
That's right. September 29th, 30th at The Rock. Dan Van Horn, Al Gianarelli, the boys, Jim and Jackie Howard getting ready. Our boy Robert Ty's already laid down the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sponsor of the 6-0 class.
Oh yeah.
And listen, don't forget about the Tied to the Concrete. See what I did there?
No,
the Tied to the Concrete Award. $2,500 cash, whoever leaves the property on Saturday night with the fastest pass. It's got to happen during eliminations or qualifying, not during testing. Eliminations or qualifying only, but whoever that is, it could be the person in the winner's circle, or it could be somebody completely different. It could be somebody that didn't even qualify. You just don't know, but it's about the speed. I want to see how much speed, because that track is famous for a variety of things. One of the most prominent things it's famous for is the fact that that's where Jason Scruggs, the Mississippi Missile, broke the 200-mile-per-hour barrier back in the day. And for all door slammers, the first time a door slammer had ever gone 200 miles per hour to the 8th mile. And it was Jason Scruggs, the Mississippi Missile, and his beautiful red Scruggs Farm and Garden 63 Corvette. So yes, sir, Rebub.
We'll see what they do now.
We'll see what happens from here. So back to what I was saying. So we got drag strips closed, and we know the Vandermeer's closed.
Mm-hmm.
Sporty and the Vandermeer family, multi-generational track. We've had Englishtown, we've had Atco, Topeka now we've heard, and that draws me right into where I'm going with this. The Midwest needs a premier drag racing facility, and Scott Higgs could do anything with his hard-earned fortune. Anything. He's got this amazing, and I mean amazing, just Google Flying H horse barn, horses, flying, anything to do with horses. The Flying H Ranch, which is coincidentally, or not coincidentally is the right way to put it, the name of the new Flying H drag strip that is currently under construction in Odessa, Missouri, 2.5 hours west of here, just about 30 minutes east of Kansas City downtown. It's going to be an amazing facility.
Looks like it's going well from the time lapse videos they got out on Facebook.
Yeah, and word is, if they're a great follow on social media, follow them on Facebook. You can also go to flyinghdragstrip.com and stay in the know. Blake Housley, of course, someone who's a very close and personal friend of mine, also involved, which means it's going to be done first class all the way. Blake flying the Flying H colors on his, that would be a 1941 Willis. Same kind of car that his dad used to drive back in the day. Terry Housley, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the door slamming. He'll be a future ADR Hall of Famer, no doubt. Blake could, how wild would this be to talk about come full circle? So again, cannot thank you enough, Scott Higgs. And if you need anything, listen, I will come up on the weekends and I will drive bulldozers, earth moving machines. I'll operate a shovel. I'll get lunch for the crew. It doesn't matter. I'm so excited to have a world-class drag racing facility being constructed. Nobody right now is building drag strips. They're closing everywhere. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Scott Higgs and his group are building one, and not just, and if you look at everything that he's done, and if you could just go to Flying H and check out the I want to call it, it's like a palace. I mean, those horses are living better than most humans. I'll just leave it at that. Again, spending his hard-earned fortune, his time, and with Blake involved, I know it's going to be first class all the way. They will spare no expense. It'll be like XRP, like Clyde did down at XRP. He will have every bell and whistle in that place, and the absolute best of the best. And the fact that it's only a short 2.5 hour drive, or the way that I drive 2 hours from our door to their door.
In relation to all the other tracks, it's damn near our backyard.
It really is. And listen, I will commit right now, sight unseen. And I know I got Dr. Fierce proxy on this. We'll hold one event. Hell, we might hold 2 80-year-old events there next year, because it's Kansas City market's ripe. And everybody in the St. Louis market that back in the day flooded to Gateway International Raceway and overflowed the place on Friday and Saturday, shut the gates. 2009 and 10, we shut the gates both Friday and Saturday. Nobody else coming in through the place. So that's just going to be the new premier drag strip in the Midwest. And I, for one, am thrilled and excited. And Scott, again, thank you. Can't wait to be there for the actual grand opening, the groundbreaking. I watched via the internet, and it was kick-ass. So, which brings me to my next topic. No matter what someone does, it seems these days, Prince Adam, in the world of drag racing, and I don't buy into this whole, I'm motivated by the haters, this, that, or the other. To hell with them. Like Granny used to say, my grandma Keeney, God rest her soul, who raised me. If you don't have anything nice to say, maybe just keep your mouth shut. Just don't say anything at all, is the way she put it. Yeah. I'll be a little more curt than that. I mean, seriously, if you don't have anything nice to say, unless you are out there actively participating. And one of the things I'm referring to specifically is the Pro Organization, which is a group of professional Top Fuel Funny Car and Pro Stock team owners. They announced the Pro Superstar Shootout that'll be next February at Braden Motorsports Park. And I would be remiss in not mentioning the track manager, Wade Rich, who's been a friend for 25 plus years. His father passed away. I just found that out a little while ago. His father passed away yesterday. And I just, my heart breaks for him. He raised one hell of a human being, outside of being, in my opinion, the best track prep guru on the planet. Wade Rich is a hell of a track manager. And even more than that, a wonderful human being, a great father, a great husband, and been a great friend for 20 plus years. And my heartfelt condolences on behalf of the entire 80-year-old nation for Wade and his family as they traverse these tough next couple of days in the coming weeks and months. And it never gets easier. Time will put a little distance between it, but Wade, sure, we love you. We're thinking about you, bro. So with Wade prepping the track, I don't care if you're running Top Fuel, Funny Car, and listen, I've watched Top Fuel at Braden Motorsports Park back when it was DeSoto Memorial Dragway. I can tell you with 100% certainty, 100% certainty that Art Malone and Pam Malone did the same thing that Victor's doing right now. Victor Alvarez, Vic, as he's affectionately known. I've never had the pleasure of meeting him yet. I look forward to doing so. What him and Wes Buck did there with the World Series of Pro Mod was fantastic. What they're planning on doing with this Pro Superstar Shootout next February at Braden Motorsports Park is going to be kick-ass. I did have to take the press release to task a little bit, even myself. I wasn't being a negative Nelly, but I am a born and bred his lover of history of all things drag racing, and there was a little line in the press release, and I know I'm being nitpicky, but I'm just going to get it out of the way. There was a little line in the press release that for the first time ever, Top Fuel and Funny Car will be, well, technically it is the first time at Braden Motorsports Park because it's changed its name from DeSoto Memorial Dragway. Yeah. So if you want to get technical, but the facility itself is a long and rich history. IHRA national events there. I saw my first Top Fuel car there at the Snowbird Nationals way, way, way back in the day. Gene Snow, the snowman, was the first person to pull right up to the line. And when he fired it up and he did the burnout on one mag, I thought that's the loudest thing I've ever heard. And then when he turned on both mags and hit the throttle off the starting line, my brother Kevin, aka Uncle Teddy, and my brother Keith both did a beeline and like dove headfirst under the. We're right up on the fence. We can't wait. They took off like
mags?
A bomb went off. So the mags, and again, I'm not the mechanical guy, but
I'm not either. That's why I'm asking.
I'll let Jason Byers or somebody a lot smarter than me jump in. But
Jason,
I know that
there,
they're big and they're
in.
red and the dual magnetos because the nitromethane. The nitro engines require so much spark, etc. And I could be completely talking out of my ass.
Okay, so it's like,
but it's an MSD
ignition
product. They're big. It's ignition related. So somebody that knows what the magneto does or what its purpose
that
is,
gives me a little bit of a better idea of at least kind of where it's at in the car. I mean, what was it last week? We're looking inside the car with Paul, and I recognized wires.
Right.
And then once it got past wires, I don't know what the hell is going on in here anymore.
There's a whole lot of stuff inside the cockpits of these cars. It really is. Buyers, what you need to do, brothers, you just need to click on that link and go into look, I'm gonna have to text it to them. Speaking of magnetos, our partner in crime in there, Chris, maybe he could look up you do a little Google search for us, maybe.
And
what does a magneto do to a top fuel nitro burning engine? Something cool is going to come up and we're all about to get a little edumacation. All right, here we go. So 734, I'm going to send that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. All right, your link is going to be in your inbox in 2 seconds. You know, the cool thing is with these awesome Fatheads, courtesy of Fatheads Eyewear, the official eyewear company of and sunglass company of the American Drag Racing League, Adrenaline the podcast, and yours truly, the Big Head, and the presenting sponsor of this fine show. Let's see here. So we want to go in there now. We're going to shoot we're going to do this text message thing. Look at this.
Well, while you're doing that, according to Google, the use of self-contained magneto ignition systems on a race car can eliminate the need for a battery coil, alternator, regulator, starter, and all the necessary wiring for each, which gives the racer a big weight savings. Makes sense.
Excuse me. And I can tell you, the only reason I know that they serve an important purpose is because they only do a burnout, at least at the time. Maybe it's still the way that way today, but they only do a burnout on one mag.
Is that just because that's all you need to really get the tires warmed
right,
up?
Then they get the second mag going.
Get up to race speed after that. Okay.
So, but you know, I mean, they really, I wonder if they even need a mag because they don't do burnouts anymore, man. Come on, Glenn Cromwell, get your guys together. NHRA, everybody. Long burnouts mandatory. If you're not burning out past the at least 100 foot, what are you doing? And I know it's all about the tune-up and all the crew chiefs out there are like, you know, shut the hell up. And, you know,
everything plays a factor.
It's entertainment though, man. John Force didn't become famous winning races and world championships. He became famous by being relatable. He was just a truck driver from Yorba Linda, California that grew up in a trailer park and made his way in drag racing the hardest way possible and ground it out long before he ever won a race. When he started bringing in sponsors is because he was super fan friendly and people could relate to a guy that drove a truck and grew up in a trailer park. I myself have driven a tractor trailer, and I also grew up in a trailer park until I moved into my grandma's house, which was actually smaller than the single wide we were living in. So moving on up, or was I don't know.
Yeah, lateral, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, listen, my Grammy was there. That's all that mattered. So she's the only reason I'm still sitting here and not either dead or in prison. But yeah, so they used to do those big, long, smoky ass burnouts, and we not only incentivize people to do it, we reward them to do it in some cases. We're going to bring back for the 2024 tour. We'll get a sponsor for it. Hoosier formerly sponsored, Fair and Lubers. If you're watching, you could jump right back in again. And we awarded $1,000 cash and a free set of Hoosier slicks for your hot rod to whoever did the longest burnout. And man, let me tell you something. We saw some cool shit back in the day. Randy Merrick baked the hides all the way to like 800 feet. Then God forgive me, a kid in a Camaro that was running, I think one of our maybe Big Tire No Time did a burnout like to the quarter mile and then backed up as fast as he could. I mean, it was almost as cool, if not as cool as Michael Neal's burnout that won the inaugural ADRL burnout contest way back in 2004.
Yeah, I was watching some
20 years
just
ago.
races and weird things, and some guy had a 2-speed reverse. I was like, holy crap. I didn't know what was going on. I thought his car lost control when he all of a sudden was jetting back faster than I'd ever seen a car go backwards.
Yeah, and I tell you, there's so many, which leads me to my next point. I continue to get hate mail, and I'm so confused as to why. My ADD's kicking in here a little bit, so I continue to get hate mail about this burnout post that I made.
Shouldn't have given me your email address.
Well, I mean, for the love of all that's okay. So let me just ask you this, Prince Adam.
Yeah.
You familiar with the PBR?
Yeah.
Love them. Love everything about it. Love going to the PBR shows. They put on an absolute entertainment extravaganza. As a matter of fact, they're also a major backer now on the People's Champ, Scott Palmer's NHRA Top Fuel program. So PBR, there's a connection there. Evidently, when they have the PBR down near Scott's home in Southwest Missouri, they would all come to Scott's shop and hang out, a bunch of the bull riders and stuff. So one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
You get Scott's marketing mind together with whoever at the PBR, and now they're backing them. The point is this: would you ever consider standing in front of the gate, 10 feet out in front of the gate when it opens and the bull breaks loose?
No.
Okay. Why?
Well, see, this is where I'm conflicted, only selfishly conflicted, and I'll admit that. And I'm not saying that I disagree with your stance in any way, shape, or form, but as the man holding the camera, holy crap, what a shot! That's all I'm going to say.
But you can get that same shot if you're on the other side of 12 inches of concrete. Fair enough.
There's ways and means around it. Yeah. I
don't have to worry about paying your medical bills, Dr. Fears and I, and our insurance carrier for the rest of your life when both of your legs get whacked off at the knees.
Oh, I've seen some videos now that, I get it. I get it.
And it's funny because of our policy, which again, why every drag racing organization, promoter, I mean, just get with the times, evolve. Like I said, I used to ride in the back of the rear facing station wagon with no seatbelt all the way to Florida. Okay. The Gran Torino. We evolved as human beings. We've evolved as a species.
A pickup truck for
in
a
lot of ways. Exactly. No big deal.
Bumpy road. Bring it. Let's go. That was the fun part. So I'm with you. That's my only 0.5%. Every time this argument comes up, I'm like, I get it. That shot is beautiful.
And listen, the media,
I get a jib cam.
Yeah. So don't worry. There'll be one of those back on the 2024 tour. But it's funny to me because when I ask that question to people, they're like, well, of course not. You've got this rank 5,000 pound bull or whatever. Well, what do you think a 5,500 horsepower Pro Extreme car is? Or an 11,000 horsepower funny car top fuel dragster?
Mm-hmm.
Or even a however many horsepower Pro Stock car, anything that has hundreds, if not thousands of horsepower, and it's burning out towards you, which is when it's at any driver will tell you.
Least bit of control.
Absolutely.
I can admit I've been to one race down in Texas, and at the beginning wasn't really too conscious of it or anything like that. I was getting the shots, getting everything like that, but there were a couple that the front end all of a sudden started pointing my way. I'm like, all it takes is just one time of grip and zing, we're out of here in seconds. So
the rear end could break. There's so many things that can happen.
Too many factors, too many variables. You could have an engine problem. The engine could blow. You could have a part that comes out. It's just a compounding list of factors that doesn't outweigh the selfish nature of, I want to be right there.
Yeah, and you know what?
That's all it comes down to.
It's not like anybody else that's at these drag races or any of the other drag strip owners or whatever. I can just tell you that it doesn't interfere with the entertainment aspect of it. In other words, for the crew chiefs and whoever is out there, it doesn't interfere with any of that. So to me, stay the hell out of the way. And I'm going to continue to pound that because, again, when it comes to safety, we've always tried to be proactive, not reactive. So if there's any way that we can get other tracks and everybody to follow suit, I think in you saw it in Texas was a great example. 80% of the people racing there had never raced with the ADRL before. In the drivers meeting, we went over it and everybody just followed suit. It was okay. a couple of little warnings here and there, but for the most part, we didn't have to shut anybody off. There was nobody. And as a matter of fact, guys that had never operated under that rule. What do we got from buyers?
I just sent Kenny a refreshed invite to his email so that he can copy and paste and send it over to you. I won't make fun of you. I'm going to do it right now. I'm not going to waste any time.
Okay, so
no, I'm just kidding.
So what's going on with the invite thing? I did everything I was asked to do.
He says it keeps forwarding back to just the YouTube page itself. So it might be that initial one. So I just sent you an updated link. So if you just copy and paste that URL.
Sorry. Amongst my many other duties, I am Jason Byers' personal assistant, which is okay. Let me see. And I probably did copy the wrong link. I probably copied the show link.
It happens all the time. I heard cats around here with you and Ryan all the time, so I get it.
Exactly. So all right. Try that one, Byers. Try that one. What was his comment about Milan Dragway? I just saw that. I understand they're under new ownership and some good things are happening up there. I truly wish Milan Dragway with its new owners be a track.
I think that was back when we were talking about possibly doing 2 races up in Kansas City. I think he was
maybe do one at Milan. We've done them in Martin, and
well, I'll tell you what,
shut the place down. But Milan,
if we're gonna do another one at the beginning of June, let's go up north. Let's stay away from Texas. Christ, that was a mess.
No, there will be no June, July, August, or September events in Texas.
Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time.
Not happening. So anyway, so just keep the hate mail coming. It's fine. I don't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I read past the first line of most of it when the subject line is, "What kind of an idiot are you? They've been drag racing for years. Nobody's ever been killed on a burnout." Well, you know what?
That's a long subject.
Yeah, and nobody. I mean, first of all, we can't say that's an absolute certainty, number one. Number two, if it does happen, it's just not going to happen at an 80-year event, or we're going to do everything we can to prevent it from happening.
Yeah, if there's any possibility of it happening, there are chances it will happen. So all you can do is mitigate the possibilities as best you
can. Back in the day, US 131 Dragway. Yes, you're right, Gavin. We were, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. We were up there for the Pizza Hut Summer Drags. The Ford Summer Drags had a couple of big partners for their for those Michigan events. We love those Michigan events, and the Michigan fans are awesome. So don't count out the 80RL returning to Michigan for the 2024 tour. So we're going to definitely have, it's confirmed, one new, we're not going to release it yet, but we are going to have one new track 100% on the tour next year that has never held an 80RL event. So we're super excited about that. Maybe as many as 4, which would be way cool. But in the meantime, if you're wanting me to read anything you're typing, you're going to have to put it way bigger. No,
you're good. This is I'm typing this out to Jason just in case in case that link didn't work. I was just going to give him my email address. I could just shoot it over to him or something like that.
Copy that. I mean, it's got to work. Come on, Byers. He's probably on one of those Android things that I used to be on.
I'm on an Android.
I know. Here, so. Listen. I'm still trying to get used to this iPhone thing. I mean, it half the time it does what I want it to. Half the time, it just starts randomly talking back to me in that Siri voice. So.
There's not a marked difference between the two these days. I mean, you got the iMessages and FaceTime.
So, a couple of questions. Brian McClellan asked if we'll be going back to Worldwide Technology Raceway. We really holding 2 events that close in proximity, and they've got some other good pro mod shows and stuff over there. We've got an NHRA national event. So at this point, it's not on the plans. Never say never. Who knows what could happen in the future, but I'm so excited about the possibility of running an 80RL event in the Kansas City market. KCIR, great drag strip up there. Topeka was great for us back in the day. We had a hugely successful event in 2010 in Topeka. I believe it was the Independence Drags out there, the National Guard sponsored Independence Drags when we were sponsored by the National Guard for the entire tour. Had an awesome time, but it was a little too far west of downtown Kansas City to really call it to where Odessa is in the Kansas City market. I mean, it's a suburb of Kansas City, and Kansas City sports fans are complete. I mean, they're crazy. The NHRA event, which I believe is this weekend in Topeka, if I'm not mistaken, draws huge crowds. The 80RL event there drew a massive crowd. So The Kansas City market is ripe and ready, and Scott Higgs is spending a ton of money. And I know that him and Blake Housley are going to. Blake told me the story earlier today that they just had a meeting to kind of gauge the interest, and they had it out on Scott's Ranch, and over 1,000 people showed up.
Jeez.
It was like a mini ADRL event. They had traffic backed up in both directions as far as you can go. The parking lot and all the grassy areas out in front of the ranch were completely full, just to say, hey, we support you. We'll be there. What can we do to help? And it was pretty overwhelming. So super stoked. Robert Ty jumping in with a question. What do you think of the new pro group and them throwing $250,000 to winners to promote drag racing and new fans? You know, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, and I my ADD kicked in, and I'm sorry, I started talking about Braden Motorsports Park, and it brought me back to Wade, and my thoughts and prayers and all of ours are with Wade Rich and his family. But Robert, that's a great question. I've got two sort of conflicting opinions on it. Number one, I love anybody that is putting in their time, their effort, their financial, if they've got the financial capability to participate. Anybody that is, and nobody is more for drag racing or a bigger fan of drag racing than I. Wes Buck is certainly right up there at the top as well. I mean, our passion for this sport burns deep, and it has for our entire lives. You know, we're both second generation, in my case, third. I'm not sure if I know Wes's dad and uncle are both drag racers. I don't know if his grandfather was, but being a third generation or second generation doesn't matter. We grew up at the drag strip, and Wes has built Drag Illustrated into the premier print magazine and in all of drag racing, and done a fantastic job. As a matter of fact, they were the sponsor. Drag Illustrated was a sponsor of that Dragpalooza event back in 2008, when we closed the place down at Houston and had the largest, at the time, we've since broke the record, but had the largest single day crowd in drag racing history. So we've got a lot of history there. Here's what I will say. I think it's fantastic. Promote drag racing, put Top Fuel and Funny Car on a different stage. I understand they're going to do some chip draw versus qualifying and different things, and I know there'll be a lot more out. My only issue with it is, and I'm not even going to say it's an issue, because again, I'm all for, if there's a drag race, I want to be there, and I'm 99% sure I will be there to support that drag race, and you know, I'll buy a ticket and come on in and get a beer and a hot dog and sit up there in the grandstands that I grew up sitting in when it was the DeSoto Memorial Dragway. Braden Motorsports Park is and has been my basically my second home track, only to Mid-America Raceways here in Wentzville when I was growing up. So my father living in Sarasota, we spent summers there. I think it's awesome, Robert. I do have some reservations just about the idea that, again, I think if they open it up, and maybe this will happen, maybe because you have to be a pro member to participate, which it's their event, and they're the one putting up all the coin.
Yeah.
You know, Dar Hawthorne, great drag racing historian, wrote and took photos for dragracingonline.com, Jeff and Kay Burke's company, Autographics, for years and years. He made a good point. It's kind of like a really, really high dollar gamblers race, because essentially it's everybody putting their money. Now, certainly Wes and his team and the folks at Pro, and with Tony Stewart involved, and Chad Head with Pro, and the president of Pro, Alan Johnson, the goat of tuning nitro engines, with all of those people involved. There's no doubt in my mind, Richard Freeman, who basically fields, along with KB Titan Motorsports, half of the pro stock field in NHRA. Those are a list of very influential, very wealthy, just call it what it is, people in motorsports, and specifically in drag racing. I think it's going to be hugely successful. I think it'll be something that could happen more than once a year. I just hope that new teams are allowed, and I would think that they will be. There's no doubt in my mind, to join pros, so that anybody that wants to come participate, if they've got a Top Fuel dragster, a Funny Car, or a pro stock car, can come and do that. I don't want it to be limited to we used to have to do that, Prince Adam, back in the day when I first, along with Dave Wood, we formed the AMS Pro Mod Challenge, which ran for years and which is still the now E3 spark plugs, Pro Mod series, or Fuel Tech might be involved now as well. It's not that I don't follow it as much, but I don't know a lot of the guys racing there, and we're so busy, following our own stuff and trying to keep this train rolling and hauling ass and picking up steam, which it is, thankfully. But that was the first iteration. And back then it had to be invitation only because it was an 8-car field, and NHRA was only allowing us 16 to 18 cars to come to try to qualify because we were not a class. Not a lot has changed over the years in that regard. It's a 16-car field now. Dave Wood's singularly responsible for the existence of NHRA Pro Mod, and these guys should forget. They should be less interested in running for a Wally, frankly. They should have Epiphany, the new ADRL trophy for 2024. We do it with his permission, of course. We do it in Dave Wood's likeness because the Wally is named after Wally Parks, the founder of the NHRA. They should be racing for Woodies. It's a perfect name.
It does kind of fit.
I mean, it does. And Dave Wood's responsible for not only that, but for the ADRL. And I dare say subsequently the PDRA in the Midwest, all the things that have kind of spawned off of it. It's kind of like the coaching tree in football, right? You got a head coach and how many people came from Bill Walsh's coaching tree? Mike Holmgren, John Gruden. The list is a hell of a lot longer than that. But the point is because of Dave Wood's initial investment into the NHRA Pro Mod series, which was higher than 7 figures, by the way, that morphed into the ADRL and all these other iterations. So I think we'll have a board meeting about it, but I think with Dave Wood's permission and blessing, we rename the ADRL trophy. We're designing a new trophy anyway. We name it the Woody in honor of Dave Wood, co-founder of the American Drag Racing League. What say you, Prince Adam?
I don't have any issues with that. Seems like another good way of being able to get some things going. So yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's fun to say.
There you go. So
plenty of puns that can come from that.
I get to make a whole lot of fun of Jason Byers right now because Tricky Ricky Smith, who is one of the most badass racers of all time, but when it comes to cell phones, I'm pretty sure he probably had a flip phone until a year ago. He got right on with that link. Are we doing something wrong here? Here, I'll tell you what, Adam.
Not positive.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to hand my phone to you. And so let me finish up. My ADD's getting the best of me again. Apologies. Let me finish up. Robert Ty, the sponsor, Advanced Concrete Finishing, ACF, sponsor of not only. Thank you, brother. See if you can get Jason Byers to link up with us. I'm just giving you shit, Byers, but it is kind of funny because, again, Ricky Smith, Robert Ty, these old wily veterans all jumped right on. I mean, hell, even Frankie Taylor figured it out. Come on. Help me. Anyway, to answer your question, Robert Ty, directly, I think it's great for the people who are going to be participating and the fans that are going to be able to witness it. So I think from that end, but I do think Dar Hawthorne makes a good point. It's going to be a very expensive, basically $1.3 million in purse over those 3 classes. It's going to be huge. But I got to be honest, I'm not one of these people that believes the fans really care about what the winner of the Indy 500 or the U.S. Nationals or the Daytona 500. I don't think that really matters to them. I think they want to be entertained. I think they want to see in drag racing. I think they want to see long, smoky burnouts. I think they want to see pedal fests. I think they want to see cars sometimes upside down on 2 wheels and spinning around. Not that we ever want to crash, but that's the inherent danger that lies with these cars. And it's one of the things that makes drag racing so exciting. So are you going to be able to bring on Byers, or are we going to have to? We're
gonna make this happen. I mean, I'm still
all right.
Here.
I'll leave that to you.
I'm still here on audio.
I've got a couple other questions that were on my phone, but I can go off memory.
How about this?
Yeah, go for it.
We throw a wild card at you. I'm gonna multitask the crap out of this thing.
Okay.
You ever heard of Pig and Ford Racing?
Pig and Ford. Are you talking about Pigeon Ford, Tennessee?
No, Pig and Ford.
Pig.
PIGNFORD.
So Pig and Ford Racing. You stumped the big head.
Oh, yes. Perfect. Well, it's a form of racing that started back up in 1925 when a couple of friends were chasing a loose pig in a Model T down the road. They ended up catching the pig, rustled it back into the car, drove it all the way back to the farmer. They had so much fun doing so that they made it an annual tradition, which still exists to this day. It consists of a 3-lap race where drivers must capture a pig from a pen, crank start their 22 horsepower stripped down Model T, and race all the way back, holding the pig squirming and squealing.
Where's this at and when is it?
I
want to get our tickets right now.
This feels like it may not be too far away from where we're heading at the end of September. This feels like that type of area.
Okay,
I don't know exactly.
Give me the lowdown on the Pig and Ford race.
Let me get this thing.
I want to
over
participate as someone who grew up on a farm in Moscow Mills, Missouri for the first, 7 years of his life. I want to participate. I will absolutely go out there. Somebody get me a what year Ford were we needing?
It's a 22 horsepower Ford Model T.
Listen, if we could ever get buyers on the phone, he's got connections. He's in Michigan. He's in the car industry. We get buyers on the show. He could definitely hook us up with the right car. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
Working on
I think we have an 80RL team. Could you see Dr. Fears and I and yourself out there trying to wrangle up a pig? And
oh god,
wow,
what a mess. I'm assuming, did you text Jason at about 7:20?
Yeah, that'd be safe to say. Somewhere
374 or 734. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's him.
Okay, I just want to make sure
that's
I'm
him.
Kicking it over from my phone. So
no worries.
It'd be an odd number there, Jason. But
so what else you got? You kind of threw that at me. Can you at least stay in maybe? Let's go post 50s drag racing. Give me a shot. Give me a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance, maybe.
Well, let's see here. This one. How about this? This isn't exactly drag racing, but it is in the field and spirit of racing itself. This is snowmobile water crossing races. Any guesstimates on the world record for driving a snowmobile on top of water distance? This record was set in 2015.
2015. If they made it further than 100 feet, I'll be shocked. But I'm guessing it's going to be something crazy.
You're bound to be shocked.
No,
you're going to be shocked.
So then my official guess will be, given your tone, I'm going to say they went 300 yards.
Okay. That's your final answer.
Final answer. Lock it in. No phoning a friend. None of that.
Would you believe 132 miles? That is a fact.
What you're saying is a snowmobile. If you live on a snowmobile and a jet, you just need a snowmobile.
That's pretty much all you needed to be able to get through and get around up there.
I mean, you got your snowmobile for the winter, and then when you want to go out on the lake, you just take the snowmobile because clearly it works out there too.
Yes, it does.
The Derby up in Wisconsin every year, Tommy Leeper, the other co-founder of the 80RL, Tommy Leeper, the TLR racing team, Tommy grew up racing snowmobiles. As a matter of fact, he was actually a racer. You give me 5 through the screen?
No, I had to turn down the volume on my phone because I had to relog back in after sending the text. Like I said, multitasking back here. We're good. We're rolling.
All good. Hey, you're a prince. You can do it all. You can do it all.
If you had to guess, what percentage of a car's life would you say it spends parked?
Probably 90%, really. I mean,
you're not far off.
Yeah.
95. 95% of a car's life is spent parked. That's crazy.
See, you and all these, I bet you didn't know, which now airs Tuesday night.
Yeah, we're kind of switching up the format a little bit, but yeah, Ryan and I have our own little thing that we do on Tuesday nights where I love to find
highly entertaining, and you come up with these crazy facts, and you stumped me twice now. So that third one though, I was close. I'm going to give the third one goes to Team Big Head. Third one goes to Team Big Head. Another question I got, completely unrelated to drag racing or anything, is what my thoughts were on the beatdown that was given at the 7-Eleven in Brooklyn. And was it excessive? Was it too much? Listen,
beatdown 7-Eleven in Brooklyn. What happened? I thought we were all still talking about these people on a boat. we already passed that one?
We're way past.
Oh, crap.
That.
This is why I stay off social media and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole boat thing, that was wild in itself.
It was.
You know,
That was.
we could make a whole show
Yeah,
out of
that
that.
guy jumping off the boat and swimming over there.
But are you
Priceless.
telling me? And if you are, you're going to have to multitask a little more and just go ahead and pull it up on your phone or what have you.
That's right.
You've not seen the beatdown that the Indian fellows.
Oh wait, these the guy's got the
as in
trash
from the
can. He's
country,
throwing
India.
stuff in, and then
Yeah,
he just gets
you've
whooped with the
got
stick.
a guy that
Yeah.
that comes in.
Yeah,
The worst criminal ever, by the way, on a couple accounts. Number one, he had on a ski mask, and that ski mask was one of those. Thank you, brother. One of those that actually had the hole in it. Like, I don't understand. I guess it's just to protect the ears and the neck. So, like, his face was on full display to the world.
yeah, it was not well hidden.
He is the definition of F around and find out.
And he did.
And he did.
He did.
And if you haven't seen it, just Google Brooklyn 7-Eleven. I promise you, it's the first thing that's going to come
he
up.
went to the back pocket with the fake gun, the fake out gun.
Yeah.
And
And did you notice the guy in the camera? Before I get into my opinion on the subject, did you notice the guy behind the camera? He was like kind of on the criminal side at first. He's like telling the store owners, like, you can't touch him. You can't do that until the police get here.
Yeah.
You can't touch him. You can't touch him. Well,
It seemed like he just wanted no violence to come from it in any way, shape, or form. He
Right.
was obviously not cared about the merchandise. being stolen.
but if you follow the video all the way through and listen all the way through, at the end, the
Oh,
same
yeah.
guy is laughing and saying
Yes.
they are whooping your ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, when a guy possibly has a gun, you may tend to side with him until it's found out and known that he does not have a gun, or until somebody's beating him half to death with a stick. Then at that point, yeah, I'm switching teams too.
I have a feeling, and I don't know, and I'm not trying to be stereotypical here, but I don't know exactly what country that gentleman was from. He was in the headdress. I went to high school with a great guy named Harinder Singh.
But you said
And
it. Where
He
was
wore
it
that
at?
same thing, you know, the turban, if you will.
Right. Where
It's in
was it?
Brooklyn.
Right. What was the location?
I
Of
believe
the
it was-
establishment.
I think it was a 7-Eleven. No,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Well, that's all you need
They
to tell
call
me.
them. They call them. Ask Robert Ty. He'll tell you. They call them bodegas
Hey.
up there.
I hear you.
So 7-Eleven is what I think it was, but it could have been. They could have been Pakistani, whatever. All I know is
Right.
this. All I know is this. That dude grew up playing cricket
Yeah, he uncorked on that
because
too.
he absolutely beat the brakes off of him. And while I laugh, because yeah, it was damn funny to see a criminal come in, especially with all the. Listen, we all know that there's all kinds of crazy shit going on around the world, and we have much more access to it now than ever because of social media. It's instantly
Cameras
in front of
everywhere.
us, cameras everywhere.
Jason gave up.
But okay, ladies and gentlemen, next week's guest, live here on Adrenaline,
Come
8
hell or
p.m.
high
Eastern,
water.
7 p.m. Central, will be the legendary Jason Byers. We need to know about the first trip. Maybe you make it this weekend, maybe you don't. But this cat essentially purchased and he didn't just go out in true Byers-like fashion. He didn't go out and just buy some Class C motorhome.
Yeah, some
He
little
goes out and
teardrop.
gets like this big Monaco motor coach with all the bells and whistles just for him and Reggie.
If you're gonna do it,
Do it right. And he'll be driving that baby down, and he will get one of our 4 reserved parking spots. He'll be plugging right in. I mean, if you're going to drive from Michigan to Rockingham, North Carolina for drag stock, I'm plugging you in. That's all I'm saying. Especially since you bought the motorhome for that sole purpose. So, although I have a feeling there'll be lots of good times had all over Michigan and parts unknown in that thing. So
Places yet to be discovered.
Byers is he's pushing in the clutch and throwing the chutes. He's like, I'm going to abort this run. We'll come back next Thursday night. So
Yeah,
give us
these
a little
things
more
happen.
time to prepare. But so my personal opinion on that, and I'd be curious to see what yours is, Brother Byers. I think the guy got exactly what he deserved. I think that he should also, after he heals up in the infirmary and gets unhandcuffed from the hospital bed, this guy needs to do time. He came into someone's place of business with a trash can and was just filling it up
Yeah,
with every cigarette. I mean, he was just taking cigarettes by the cartons, and I'd never smoked, never been a smoker. I don't even know what a carton of cigarettes costs these days, but I bet it's a shit ton.
I think up in New York, you're looking at about anywhere about $15, $17 for a pack.
A pack.
Yeah,
It wasn't it just like yesterday you could put like $1.25 into that machine and pull the lever and they pop down right in front of you at the bar or the pool room.
back in the good old days.
So if it's 17 a pack and there's 12 in a carton, That's a
Yeah, I believe
hell.
that's right. There's a-
I'm
no,
just
I
telling. That's
think
a.
it's-
So he was.
Yeah.
This is felony stuff. I mean, he was going to steal a
Well,
felony level.
Yeah, I'm sure that he would have accumulated at least a felony level amount, but that's the thing with some of these states like California and New York and Oregon. They've changed the minimums and they've changed the rules regarding theft to where you could almost walk into a store and as long as you're stealing something under the amount of $750, nobody's going to even prosecute you. You almost just get to walk out.
Which
That's where everything's
therein
locked
lies the
down
answer.
in
So you just
gates.
fast forward to the end of the movie, which is great because that's the answer. The problem starts at the prosecutor or non-prosecutor level.
Mhm.
So without getting political or anything, as I say all the time, Republican, Democrat, American.
Yeah, tar and feather.
Okay. Tar and feather this. I mean, he didn't get enough. I mean, he came in and basically tried to take food away from these two men's family, these guys who are trying to own and operate a business and work their ass off to live the American dream. And some punk just comes in there and thinks that he could just take whatever he wants.
Sure.
And the reason that they're so willing and able to do that is that society is because of how far the prosecution, all this, no cash bond. What even is that?
It's so
A no cash bond. So like
It's so
basically they're
bad
just
on
saying,
so many
we trust
levels.
you, you'll come back.
yeah.
Forget about the fact that you raped and pillaged and did all these
Yeah, I
awful
mean,
things.
it's-
You don't have to put up any money.
Well, the problem is
We know you'll show up for your court date.
you can't even prosecute sometimes by the law. You almost have to prosecute by public sentiment. So these days with social media and everybody have an opinion where everybody's opinion holds some sort of value. And I don't know if everybody can feel the rolling of my eyes on that, but the problem is you get these waves of initiative or these feelings of support for somebody or something, and then all of a sudden the police or the mayor has to step up and they have to do something. It's just people just mind their own damn business.
I mean, seriously,
it comes down to.
and go to work and pay for your goods and
Yeah,
services.
Clean
And
up your own yard.
Dr. Fierce did tell me the other day, right here in the world headquarters, that they are now launching an investigation into the owners. I mean,
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that you can't, you
what
can't,
could they possibly have done wrong? What on that video is going to
They-
change
they beat him
anyone's mind?
because they instigated violence in a situation where they weren't being directly threatened with physical violence. They may have been verbally threatened, but they weren't being actually attacked. The guy could have possibly just stolen the stuff and walked out of the store and everybody would have been fine and nobody would have got hurt. The problem is, in today's society, we have this whole new mentality and belief that everybody has to go through their whole life without ever getting their feelings hurt, without ever having their toes stepped on in life. And it's just not the case. I mean, I'm not advocating bullying or things like that, but you know how many success stories bullying has probably made out of people?
Right.
I'm not saying it's the answer or the
You-
solution, but I'm just
You're
saying
coming in 10-2.
it's just getting too damn crazy because everybody's looking at everything on such an individual and minute basis instead of what's good for the greater.
That video is the video version of fuck around and find out. Let's just call it what it is.
You take a chance.
I mean, if you're going to go in there and you're going to roll the dice, you might get somebody that just happened to be a cricket Hall of Famer before he decided to
Yeah.
move to Brooklyn and open a bodega.
Every one of us walks out the door with some percentage of chance we could get beaten half to death with a stick. It's kind of our actions and what we do that determines that percentage.
Yes.
And if it happens, I can tell you, I've not been beaten half to death with any sticks. So things are
Well,
going
I'll
okay.
just tell you this. You can pencil me down as the guy that's going to get held in contempt in whatever courtroom. If either of those two gentlemen end up in a courtroom, I say this right now.
Well, they'll lose their job or they'll lose their franchise sponsorship from that company because it's going to go up to that. And that's the problem, is that everybody's got to bitch and moan and complain and go up the ladder.
They
with
better not
everything.
even try to prosecute
And
those
all of a
two, because if
sudden,
they do,
they-
I'm coming for them.
They won't even have to. They won't even have to prosecute them. All they have to do is put pressure on 7-Eleven, if that's the establishment. And
I believe it
7-Eleven
is, if
could
memory
withdraw
serves, but
their.
my memory
They could
doesn't
fire
serve.
them if they're not the owners. They could fire them easily. Or if they are the owners, they could probably withdraw their franchise percentages or sponsorships and drive them out. That's what'll end up happening. It doesn't have to go through the legal avenues anymore, because people can mess with your money and mess with your job because of this, that, or whatever, because they feel like it.
Right.
And it's sick.
Well, again, I had more than one person ask me what my opinion was when we put it out there. Yes, Richard Davis is the answer to your question. Maybe as soon as drag stock, we're working on sponsorship around here. That's what we do 18 hours a day, every day. So yes, for 2024, drag stock, we'll see. But yeah, so a lot of people ask me that question, and I felt compelled to answer it. I don't know enough about it. I'm like most people. I've watched the video. I didn't really go into it, but what I intended to say when I said,
we need
I'm
to know
coming
that
for
much
them,
about
I
it.
mean, I would be in that courtroom supporting them verbally and obnoxiously,
Yeah.
hold me in contempt, throw me in the can, whatever you got to do. But if
You know how many bigger
live in a
problems there are
society-
out in this world than some
Right.
guy getting beat with a stick because he was stealing?
because
Get
he
over
deserved it.
Yeah, good God.
He
Solve world hunger.
deserved it, man. And there's no middle ground. This isn't some sort of a debate over lyrics in a song or where it
No.
was filmed or anything like that. This is plain as day,
It's
live and in color.
It's stupid.
This guy effed around and found out.
It's if somebody
Conversation
breaks into my house and they cut their arm on my window and they sue me, what are you talking about? Get
Right.
out of here. But
And
it
again,
happens.
that's a whole show in itself, but I'll just close
Exactly.
this part of it with this. I fantasize sometimes about somebody breaking into my house.
Oh, every day. You kidding me? What's the point of being an American?
You know, the proverbial Paul Pelosi and the hammers. I wish Pelosi would have grabbed the hammer from that dude and just bashed his head in.
Boy,
with it.
I really feel like there was a whole lot more going on with that story.
Oh,
and a
again,
little bit behind the scenes.
that'll be for a different show, a different time. But you and I are in lockstep on that. So
yeah. That's our conspiracy
got another
show. Keep an eye out
question.
for the conspiracy show on the AD.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm answering Richard's beautiful wife, Tisha Cagle Davis. Same question. Y'all going to have a dragster class? Yes, and yes. We will have Extreme Dragster in 2024, doing everything we can. It just takes sponsorship. Listen, we're not going to be in a situation where we are making an ass ton off the racers. The pro racers don't pay a damn thing. And if I can't create sportsman classes that are affordable, that don't cost you $1,800 to $2,000 before you drop your trailer door, then I just assume not do it. We'll have somebody else do that. So not going to happen. Next fun little question here. This comes from Amber. She's in Boise, Idaho. Will Prince Adam inbox me?
Ooh, sure.
So you could take that 100 different ways. So
Tell you what, if
I
nothing
presume
else-
she wants you to slide into the DMs there, bro.
Yeah, if nothing else, my email is there.
And if she's not catfishing, I'm just saying,
Hey.
she's digging her some Prince Adam.
Life's a garden, dig it.
To get back to one of the other questions that somebody actually posted. Man, I got to share this really quick. He had a question and there was a fun little post when Rockingham Dragway earlier in the week, they shared our event. And when they did this lovely lady, Deborah Hill, came in and says, Rockingham Dragway, I don't understand why when asked about parking, you tag this Kenny Nowling. Is he one with the answer? He doesn't even live in the state, according to his Facebook page. Good laugh. I mean, like I told her, Deborah, most days my own wife doesn't even know who I am. So it's all good. Hope to see you at Drag Stock. But George Abbott had a nice reply. He's like, Debbie Hill, Kenny Nowling is the 80-year-old ma'am. He's the reason parking is $20 per carload and the tickets are free. Appreciate George just trying to help out. But like Deborah rebutted, she said, listen, that's all well and fine. That's all fine and dandy. I love it. That's North Carolina at its finest, right? That's all fine and dandy, she said to George. But with a question being asked, the reply you give doesn't answer the question. And some of us who enjoy going and watching don't necessarily know who Kenny Nowling is or has to do with this event. I'm not trying to be a, quotes, Karen. I had to ask because I had seen the question asked several times and always with the same answer. Thanks for clarification. George, no problem. Just trying to help. I don't think George meant to jump into all that.
Ooh.
But God bless Deborah. Nobody knows who the hell I am outside of a few people in drag racing.
Yeah, that felt like North and South Korea in a standoff and
Right.
just waiting for somebody to cross the line. But thankfully, things have de-escalated.
But the post that everybody always asks me what my reason is for not giving up on this dream in the American Drag Racing League and seeing this thing through and hashtag unfinished business, etc. This post is a perfect example of that. Eddie Duncan writes in, Kenny Nowling, I know you are, and I'm going to, I apologize for this next line, Adam. I know that I don't want your attorneys coming after me for any trademark infringement or anything, but he says, you are a prince of a man with a heart bigger than Texas.
This bastard.
I brought my 7 or 8-year-old daughter, who is now 22, to drag stock, and you made her Cinderella for the day. We got to meet your son, KJ, when he was the same age, 7 or 8 years old, and was a young gun in his junior dragster, and she thought he was cute, and we bought one of his hero cards. I think maybe they bought a t-shirt because the hero cards were free, but regardless, or somebody could have grabbed a stack of KJ's hero cards and was out selling them.
Entrepreneur.
Whatever. I'm down. I love entrepreneurial spirit. And we bought one of his hero cards, and your lady heard our conversation and asked my daughter if she would like to meet him. And of course the answer was yes. That lady was probably Jessica, my beautiful wife now, who was running the Adrenaline Zone at the time. So as the story goes, she went and got him, and he came out and gave her an autograph. Standing there watching those two interact was priceless to me. You asked me if I was going to hang around after the race for the awards ceremonies. You said you were going to give some money, to kids. So I said yes. When you went out there, we were right in front of you and saw you. You looked right at my daughter holding KJ's hero card and said, the first one who can show a KJ Nowling hero card, you'd give him $100 bill. I like giving out $100 bills.
I've noticed that.
LOL, you gave her the $100 bill and treated her like a princess. There are no words that I can use to tell you how special that was to both of us. I am planning on being there, and if everything works out, I plan on bringing her too. I am very much looking forward to this show. Thanks again for all you do for our sport. You, sir, the man. Well, my response was simply, I remember that day like it was yesterday, because I do. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I can absolutely tell you that I remember this for a variety of reasons, not the least of which KJ won drag stock that night. So that was ultra cool. So they would have been 8 years old. I pray that you and your daughter are doing great. I'm humbled and frankly overwhelmed by your kind words. When people ask me why I've never given up on my dream and what we started with the American Drag Racing League, it's wonderful people like you, your daughter, and every other member of ADRL Nation. That's my reason. And like Dr. Fears and I always say, and you as well, failure is not an option. So we appreciate it. So, man, that hour went by quick.
Flew.
Faroom. Didn't even have a guest on because, well, my best buddy Jason Byers just couldn't get that iPhone to do what it needed to do. You know what he should have done? He should have gave it to Reggie. Reggie would have jumped right on and put his paws on that thing. And maybe we have Reggie on next week instead of Jason. We definitely want to have Jason and Reggie on.
We'll send him the link at the same time and let him race.
Brother Jason, in all seriousness, give the weekly hug and kiss and I love you to your beautiful brother, Mary Byers, the Queen of Michigan. We're all behind her and we're with you as well, my brother. So with that, we have filled up another hour of airtime here on Adrenaline.
We did it.
The podcast presented by Fatheads Eyewear. As always, want to thank Ron at Chuckaburger. Want to thank our good friend Wes at Wes's Collision Repair. While Wes will be taking delivery of his new hot rod too. He sponsors the interview segment with Wes's Collision Center in Maybank, Texas. Unfortunately, the interview didn't come through, so maybe we'll do two next week and make it up to him. And of course, Selena Mikos and everyone, betterofficefurniture.com for all your office furniture needs. They've got so much cool new stuff over there. They're right here in Earth City, Missouri. If you're anywhere in the St. Louis metropolitan area or within an hour or two drive, or you can just go to their website and look at it, check it out. No matter where you are, they deliver all across the country. So Selena, we appreciate you and all of our partners. Looking forward to a couple of big sponsorship announcements next week right here on Adrenaline. Dr. Fears will be back. Prince Adam will always be behind. I
live here.
Yeah, you do, basically. That is your cot back there, no?
Yeah, it's handy. Comes in from time to time.
All right. With that, I'm the big head, Kenny Nowling. Thanks for joining us. We had a good time as always. Sorry we couldn't get Jason Byers, but you are booked in next week. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., free tickets. hit the market and hit ADRLtour.com. Just go to ADRLtour.com. They'll be right on the homepage. Drag stock tickets, and humbly, I think they're the coolest tickets that we've ever designed here at the American Drag Racing League. They for the 20th year of drag stock, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. These are the coolest looking tickets of all time, and you'll want to get your hands on them because you're going to want to join us September 29th and 30th. The Rock
Be there.
Drag stock. With that, for Prince Adam, for Dr. Fears, for my man Chris behind the scenes, for everybody involved in making Adrenaline happen, Fatheads, Rico Elmore, Wow West Johnston, and everybody at West's Collision Center. They do repairs there, though. Ron Stilley and Chuckaburger, happy birthday, Ronnie. Had a blast out there on Sunday. We'll have a big announcement coming up in the coming weeks as well, Prince Adam, about our October Adrenaline, the cruise in, taking place down at Chuckaburger this coming October. We'll set the date, and we'll get that locked in. So looking forward to that. Selena Maikos, BetterOfficeFurniture.com. Thank you. Appreciate everyone. ADRL Nation, you rock. We will see you back here next Thursday night. Same bat time, same bat channel right here on ADRL's official YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. We'll see you back here next week. God bless.